Hi there, this is a thought for the day. And once again, I am reading from Kundalini, Empowering Human Evolution by Gopi Krishna. It was edited by Jean Kiefer. So this thought for the day comes from a chapter titled Beyond the Higher States of Consciousness. So in that first, in the thought for the day, the last one I did, we were talking about nuclear annihilation. And even though this is quite a bit further in the book, we've picked up on that same theme. So he begins, even with its nuclear arsenals and contamination of water, air, and earth, it is not science that has become destructive. It is the distortion of the human intellect that is responsible for the present unsafe situation of the world. Knowledge can be both constructive and destructive. The ultimate arbiter is the human intellect. This is why revelation has always been a necessary instrument for the spiritual progress of the race. Intellect, unable to see centuries or even only a decade ahead, cannot determine the evolutionary needs of mankind. It is liable to make serious errors in calculation at any time. Human life is so complex, and the course of evolution so full of bewildering situations that only a cosmic intelligence can guide it rightly to the destined goal. Can even a whole galaxy of the highest intellects in every branch of knowledge make an accurate forecast of what would be the state of mankind after the span of only the next quarter century? Or even what changes will occur in the current concepts of science, politics, and religion? If not, doesn't it plainly signify that the race is drifting toward an indeterminable goal at the mercy of forces of which it has no control? The error of science has been that it has entirely ignored the spiritual side of man and devoted all its attention to the physical and organic fields. The outcome is that mankind faces a threat of annihilation on one side, or death with poisoned air, water, and earth on the other, and of mental distortion on the third. On the political side, it has become a seething cauldron of aggression, violence, lust for power, and hate. On the spiritual and moral side, we see confusion rampant everywhere. There are as many ideas, concepts, systems, and doctrines as there are scholars or teachers expounding them. It is not surprising, therefore, that science has failed to create that homogeneity and that clarity of thought that are essential for the harmonious progress of mankind in the social, political, and spiritual fields. Science today is suffering from the same distemper of mind that affected faith during the period of her supremacy, namely dogmatism, vanity, and arrogance. It is amazing to what extent even scientists can be led astray by vanity. They understand very well that all we know about the visible cosmos is but a drop in the possible ocean of knowledge. Not a year passes when they are not forced to revise their opinions about certain issues. But with all this uncertainty, most of them display a dogmatic attitude toward mind and consciousness. It is chiefly because science has been one-sided in this investigation, ignoring the spiritual side of man, that it has failed to bring about a wholesome transformation in the mental and moral sides like it did in the physical side of things. The neglect of the material side brought about the fall of the once highly honored sovereign faiths of mankind. Can I repeat that? The neglect of the material side. Your body doesn't matter. Your money doesn't matter. Your life doesn't matter. That's horsepucky. The neglect of the material side brought about the fall of the once highly honored sovereign faiths of mankind. In the same way, the neglect of the spiritual side is now tending to undermine the position of ascendancy gained by science. Oh, just trust the science. Sure. In either case, it was the intellect that failed to assess the position correctly and to err in overemphasizing only one side of man and neglecting the equally important other side. So, as you go about your day today, ask yourself, where is your point of balance? Are you taking care of business in the world? Are you doing what you have to do to pay your bills? Are you keeping your spending in line? At the same time, are you developing your consciousness? Have you gotten locked into some tight little bias and you refuse to move? Where's the balance point between what we need to do in the physical world and what we need to do to keep evolving our consciousness? The spirit of the self is a critical part of the self. Most of that spirit for everybody gets shoved into the back of the closet and left there forever because they think they just have to make money. The people who say, oh, money is evil, they're just as out of balance in the other way. Don't be like that. Think about how to find your own point of balance and make a great day.